Listen,
Yeah, I
I'm
can see
just,
how that could be, you know.
this is why we ask questions to get clarity.
Wow.
What about the whole, I mean, listen, we have to bring it up. We have to bring it up so we can move on. But
Okay.
what about the whole controversy that did involve you with this statue? It's in print. I'm not bringing anything up that's not out there. Listen,
The World Trade Center just come up behind me.
yes. I swear to God, I know.
Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
I know. Like now you're freaking me out. So you are sitting in front of a picture of the Twin Towers. Like that wasn't planned,
Oh my
but
God.
you know, this whole thing that this, like, there is this scene that it was filmed and that you went up to like the firemen, the 9/11, like fallen firemen, the statue in Great Neck, and were like making fun of it or feeding him a drink. And that there are people that say that is why
So,
the show was canceled.
so I was never allowed to speak about it. And when you're okay, not threatened, when you're in a contract with a very large company, you don't want to, you know, go against their contract, even even if it would save your livelihood. But I think at this point, I'm okay, uh, because it has to be said. So that the park where I had my photo shoot is a park that I used to go to as a child, and it was like the Great Neck Park or something like that. Then I obviously lived in the city for a while, and when I came back, I think it was turned into a memorial, and I had no idea. My best friend Ilton planned the whole photo shoot. You'll see him in it, and also this model. And he picked the park, and I had no clue. I just showed up like everyone else, carrying like a million drink hankies and bottles and all this stuff. And when you're gonna have your company on TV for the first time, the only thing I was thinking about was, is the drink hanky fitting over the cup right, or does it look stupid? And that was the only thing I was looking at. I didn't even notice that it was a memorial. I had no idea. And it sounds so stupid, but it wasn't when I lived there. So if I had known that before, I wouldn't have even done it there. And then people were saying I was feeding, or the model was feeding beer to this statue, and there's no alcohol. It was an old Pepsi can, not that that matters, but it was a statue, and they were just, you know, they just wanted to be like candid, like as if they were, you know, candidly like posing with a statue. They weren't trying to like hurt anybody or be disgusting in that way, because those people that were doing that weren't even aren't even people that would do something like that. I think they were just trying to be cutesy, and they were just trying to simply take a photo with a statue. And then I remember being in Florida, and my episode of my drink hanky photo shoot that I was looking forward to this whole time was mentioned in Glamour. And for me at 24, I'm like, this is the biggest thing that could happen for me and my company. And then so there was no negative feedback even in that Glamour article. So I had no idea what was about to happen. And I was on vacation in Florida. And then like a few days later, the world was just like flipped up behind me. And and I offended someone that I actually knew. I knew that family. And I just felt so awful that like I called the sister, and I remember having a phone conversation with her for like over an hour. And then the next day, she like threw me to the press and was like, yeah, Amanda called me to apologize, but I don't believe anything she says. And like totally discounted like everything we spoke about like a few days before. And she was so nice to me on the phone. She's like, it's okay, it's okay. Just say I'm sorry to my father, and like got him on the phone. And then she like completely went against me in Newsday a few days after, when that was such a huge moment for me, and I thought that we were okay. And then she like just fed me to the wolves a few days later. And then in my heart, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I gave you my soul. Like I brought myself like down so many levels to be like, I am such an asshole. I never thought that would happen. I never realized what was going on at the time. If I did, I would never ever do that. And then she just basically discounted everything I said and like went against me. And then after that, I just felt like there's nothing that I could do that could be right, because even the person that like I apologized to was talking shit about me, and I thought we were okay. And Bravo wasn't helping me. And no one was helping me. I was in a huge depression like for a while, and then I sold out of my drink hankies. And I remember I had to put sold out on the website, and I got yelled at for it because they thought that I was promoting that my drink hankies were selling out despite such a horrible thing going on. And like I never meant it to be like that. I just couldn't afford to pay for production again. So like I had to write sold out. I wasn't trying so things were just taken so out of context, and like I couldn't say anything about it. And like till this day, it just makes me like really anxious because I was never able to defend myself or even speak upon it. And at that moment when that happened to me, it was the darkest time of my life because I felt like a terrorist. I can't even say that. And I don't know how. I just felt it. I felt like that. I felt like people looked at me like that. Like I was someone that like did something bad, like a terrorist would do. Like I was a part of 9/11 almost. Like that's how I was being treated. And as someone that's from New York that went through 9/11, a lot of the kids that were in my school, I remember that day very well because a lot of their parents worked in those buildings. And I just remember, going through that time, and to say that I was, basically, oh, hold on, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna wrap up in
I
like
gotta
5 minutes.
sorry.
It's okay.
Oh my God, sorry, I almost lost
No,
you.
no.
So yeah, to say that I was, just someone that would piss all over like a monument like that or some in that way is just ludicrous. And you know, it's just something that happened that I wasn't even able to speak about. And God forbid I said that I didn't pick that place to film, or God forbid I said that there were 20 other people that were there, also as part of the crew that could have said something, right? And no one did, and no one said anything. And yes, I should have been aware, but when it's your first time on a television show and you're something that you invested $10,000 of your own money with your father is going to be on TV, you want to make sure it looks good. And that was the only thing I was worried about. And so someone could have said something to me that was, or just said, we shouldn't film here. They should have just taken us right out. I don't know why there were 20 people just standing around acting like this is okay.
Production, like was in production,
Yeah,
filmed.
why didn't they just go? What if it was that horrible? If you had to edit it out of the season, then why didn't you just take us somewhere else? Why didn't you say something to me? It's like, were you rolling with it? I don't understand.
Well, that's what it seems like.
I know, and now that I'm thinking about it, we're talking about it out loud. But at the same time, like who would want that kind of press? So I don't know why they would just continue to like let that happen. I don't know.
Does that come up? I mean, like you said, like when you apply for jobs, I mean, like you have a job now, but like when you applied, like somehow without it being on your resume, Princesses always comes up.
Yeah, and then obviously for a long time, like the negative articles about 9/11 were like just the first page, and that's all you would see. And it makes me look like this controversial person that's not aware of anything in life.